I ain't even gonna say, excuse how I look right now, because I don't care. Hey y'all, my name is Kendaya, and welcome to my voice. I have woken up this morning with so much joy. Just like everybody else, I have been glued to this Hurricane Milton story. And I am on TikTok, and what I saw last night before everybody went to bed was people putting their faith in God, for sure. And if you're on TikTok, I'm pretty sure you heard about a guy named Lieutenant Dan. When I say that is faith right there, that is faith. Now, as we know, there was a huge hurricane that hit Florida last night. It's still kind of like making its way out. I heard that it was like the past couple of days, being on TikTok, my eyes being glued to my phone about it. Um, it was going to be really, really bad. The mayor said if you stay, you're going to die. First of all, a lot of people couldn't. I've heard so many stories like, okay, well, people's cars aren't starting. A lot of people don't have cars. A lot of people were disabled. A lot of people just couldn't leave. And then there was this one lady that my heart went out to her. She's just like, I'm not leaving my farm animals. And she survived. Like everybody, I don't recall hearing any deaths. I mean, we just woke up to a lot of the people that we were wanting to like root for are alive, because I believe it hit as a 3 or a 2, and everybody was saying it's gonna be a 5, and they were talking about like it might be a 6, which doesn't exist, like the category. I don't know. All I know is I'm filled with so much joy because look what our God did. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about God. I'm not gonna stop talking about him. So here's the thing. A lot of people, they say, like with stuff like this, it's an act of God. It's an act of God. How can you, especially, atheists or people who don't believe, whatever, I'm not bashing you. I'm not, because they're legitimate questions. But how can you believe in a God that allows that or causes this? That causes this. This is an act of God. Why is it called an act of God? You know what? Yeah, it is an act of God. The other one, the bad one, they're very much, this is what people don't understand. There very much is another God of this world, and he's the evil one, and he's the one that has deceived the world into believing that he doesn't exist, or he's the good one, or that God is bad. The good God is bad. Like there's a lot of deception. There's a lot of behind the strings pulling with his deception work. And this is where your discernment has to come in, your personal relationship with God. And I don't like to say God. God is his title, not his name. Okay, but I'm just gonna say God. Okay, when I say God, it's the good one. But when I usually say the other guy, right? The bad side. But it is an act of God, but the other one. And then what? Just a week and some change after Hurricane Helene, and I do have family members in North Carolina. I don't think they're in West. They're not in Western North Carolina, but these towns got destroyed, and which is suspicious because hurricanes don't hit the Appalachian Mountains. They don't. I do believe that man who follows the other guy um, can manipulate weather. I do. I do, and it's not even a conspiracy at this point. I've been saying I've been saying this for God knows how 10 plus years. It's not even a conspiracy now. Just like the whole aliens thing, everybody's. I'm considered the conspiracy nut, right? It's I don't like conspiracy theorists. I'm a conspiracy analyst. If I hear something, I go to so many lengths to figure out what it really is. Okay, they're not they're not theories. They're conspiracies. Period. That's just what they are, and a lot of them are coming true. Like for example, the alien. Like for so long, growing up in the '90s, there was always the one crazy alien guy. And I remember thinking that too, 12, 13 years old. Oh gosh, aliens, really? But I also knew that demons always existed because I see them. I saw them when I was a little kid. I see them now. Turns out that there's a direct correlation. I'm not going to get into that right now, but there is a direct correlation. But talking about aliens, and I say that with heavy air quotes, nowadays, in the government saying, yeah, they've existed all along. Y'all, we're not crazy. We're telling the truth. So I think the question is, what is it about us that's picking up on this stuff that everybody else isn't? When I decided to give my life over to God, my reasoning was, and I believed God my whole life. There was not one day of my life that I didn't believe in a God or a creator. Not one day. But I wanted a personal relationship with him because I got to the point where I was, mid-teens. And I said, I know you're real, but do I know you? And I knew that there was so much bad things going on in the world. I knew that chaos happens, right? The reason why I decided to have a personal relationship is because I wanted to always be like this with God or our Creator. Always. Because I have a heart of a prepper. And I'm not just talking about like doom and gloom prepper, the end of the world. Not like that, no. Prepared mentally, emotionally, physically, as much as possible. But I always wanted to be so close to God like this, like I said. And because I knew when something bad happened, I didn't want to go to him because I needed something or because I wanted something. I mean, think about it. It's a relationship. How would you feel if somebody only came to you because only came to you? They know you're there. Maybe it's a family member, close friend, whatever. They know you're there, but they only talk to you because they want something. I didn't want that with God. I saw that all around me. I didn't want that. I wanted to be close with God every day, and I still do. And honestly, that's what I saw. I saw a lot of just the love of our Creator moving through these people. Even in Helene, the Hurricane Helene, Western North Carolina, I think this was from, I don't know how long ago it was. Maybe it was Helene, like the hurricane that went through, I think it passed Mexico. I don't know if it was Milton or Helene, but I saw this guy walking in chest deep water. And he was pushing a boat, and he was collecting all of the stray animals. He had like 10 or 15 dogs, cats, just picking up all the animals. That is Jesus right there. That is God moving through people. Yes, I know people have such good hearts, and God is real. Both of them are real. But you got to choose whom you're going to serve. This video was definitely not planned. I just threw this on, and I was like, I got to speak from my heart about what's going on. I woke up with so much joy. I checked on the people that Peach McIntyre, Lieutenant Dan, Melissa, the lady that was in a shipping container. They all made it through. And they're like going through like their profiles, and people are just being so vicious and mean. Like, yeah, it's okay for them to be scared. Like these people going on their lives. Like, think about it. Don't we live in quite the time? Because these people, like with technology and our phones and all these accounts, TikToks, YouTube, whatever, these people are potentially filming their last moments, and they're deciding to share it with us. First person account right here. And they're deciding to share these moments with us where they know that they might die. They might die. And people are like, you're being stupid. Like, oh, if you only had a warning, again, a lot of people couldn't leave. I think people are foolish with comments like that, especially when you're like, oh, I'm so glad I live in the Midwest. You know what? I live in Washington State, we got earthquakes. I used to live in Texas, we had tornadoes, had twisters there. The middle of the country, twisters. The East Coast, hurricane, everywhere. There's gonna be disasters everywhere, man-made disasters, and that's a whole nother side conversation. I do think natural things can happen, but not lately, not in the past 10 years, no. But It doesn't matter where you live. You got to be like this with God. You got to be like this with God because, and that's the thing with like the whole like, Lieutenant Dan. This is why people's hearts are so fell in love with him so fast the past 3 days or whatever. It's his faith. If you're a believer, death does not scare you. It doesn't scare you. So really, if he was like, okay, you know what, I might survive this hurricane, and his faith told him that he was going to survive. It looks like he did. So it's like, okay, if I survive, I, being a believer, I have more time on this earth to do what God told me to do. If I die, I'm going to be in the presence of my Creator. So it sounds like a win-win to me. You don't have to deal with this world no more. That's a win-win to me. I'm really glad that people are okay. One of the first videos I saw this morning doing my updates, checking on these people, was like, you know what? Look what God did. Because I think that there was a time, like a time where people, either they planned it or they didn't plan it. All of the prayers, I felt people praying for our country. I felt people praying for Florida. And look what happened. Don't underestimate the power of prayer, y'all. Like, it's real. It is so real. So my challenge to you is take a minute throughout your day. If you have a busy day, I know what it's like to work 10 plus hour shifts and you got screaming kids and animals. Take just 1 minute out of your day, go somewhere, secluded place, take a deep breath and be like, God, I know you're here. Help me be closer to you. Just talk to him because God loves quality time and he wants to spend quality time with us. I think so I heard somebody say that's his love language, quality time. So no matter how chaotic your life is, no matter what you're going through, legal battles or health issues or foreclosure, whatever, just take time. No, he's got your back. It's not the end of the world. I know some people thought that last night in Florida, but they're also waking up today. So it's okay to be scared. Just don't live your life in fear. God does got you. He's got you. You got to put your trust in him. And I have been studying Psalm 91, and that has put my heart at peace, my soul at peace. Like, because I'm the type of person who stresses and worries and has anxiety and panic attacks. I have been calmed. Psalm 91. So I just wanted to hop on here and give what was on my heart. I have so much joy. Y'all, you don't have to live your life in fear or stress or panic or anxiety. God didn't give that to us. I guarantee as somebody who does see demons sucking the life and energy out of people, just give it over to God. Thank y'all for listening to my rant this morning. Again, I am in such a good mood because of what our God did. So thank you for being here. There'll be more videos later on this week. And thank you for listening to Kendaya's Voice.